So hello everybody and welcome back. Into this video we're going to analyze the chart that the governor of New York City presented or showed when he announced his decision to reopen New York restaurants. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see what is right, what is wrong, and yeah, what we need to watch out in the future. So here's the thing. The chart that New York's governor presented is the data is correct. What is probably a little bit more problematic is the way it was presented. So the New York Times did an article about this. I'm going to now post the source, the link down below, so you can actually read everything. But this is the chart that he showed, where you can see that the data starts in January 5th, where there was a rate of 7.1, and then we have January 28th, where it's 4.9, and he made the announcement the 29th of January, where he said we are going to reopen the restaurants. Okay, so the New York Times have been following COVID data for quite a long time, and they had some suspicions about it. So this is actually how the chart looks like. The daily versus the average test positive rates in New York City. So the data that the governor showed, you can see it here. They put January 5th, and this is the max for the daily rate. And then he posted the January 28th, and here you have the mean. So he actually got a chart, got daily values, and charted the highest and the lowest for January, and then join them together. And that is perhaps the most misleading part of everything, because if you hadn't done it, you would actually see these, and the max and the mean would have disappeared in everything. But because the joining with the line, it makes it seriously misleading. So you can see the line in there, right? So here we have the line. This is the max and the mean. And then for somebody that is not into data, would look at the chart, we see, oh, the rates are down, great. We can open the restaurants again. Well, obviously the New York Times is arguing that perhaps the most sensible way would put the average, so you can, smooth out max and means. That's what you have these rolling averages for. And then it will show that in January 5th you have 6.4, and on January 28th you have 5.3. Which is different, completely different numbers. Now, the question for me was still like, okay, so is 5.3 a good number or a bad number? When did the governor close the restaurants in New York? So obviously they thought about that too. And if we go up a little bit, I'm going to show you, you'll see that in here, so December 11th, at a 4% average, 7 average rate, he decided to close the restaurant. Okay, so remember that now when we go down. So back in our chart, remember, we're talking about the average, right? We're talking about this line, the average line. That's the one that it shows. So he decided to close the restaurants here at a 4%. And now he decided to open it here at a 4.9. And that is where the easiest lied, right? So if you close it at 4%, is it okay to open it at 4.9% a month later, or a month and a half later? So some key takeaways from this one. The first one is, when do you see a chart that it starts January 5th and ends on January 28th? And with that, it means it doesn't start at the end of the month or at the end of a week, or it's just a very weird period. Suddenly, like 5th of January to January 28th, why would you pick that period? You pick a month, you pick a week. So if you see that, you should start becoming suspicious as was not being shown before and after those dates, right? Then the fact that it is a 7.1, 4.9 daily rates, how could you know? I mean, you have to know the data. There is no way that, unless you know the data, you know that you're being showing the daily rates and the average rates look different. But these, in my opinion, is a warning sign that something is being hidden behind the curtains. And if you want to take this as a fact, you should go and check it out. If you don't care, just when somebody speaks about it, don't talk about it because you haven't checked it. But you know what I mean? So it is quite interesting. I mean, he didn't lie, but he didn't tell the entire story, and he definitely covered things that he didn't want us to know. And that makes it, you know, we need to be very careful how we present data, because we can mislead intentionally or unintentionally. This, because the dates were picked the way they were, I believe it was intentional. And especially because he didn't show the rates when he decided to close the restaurants. That was not disclosed, but yeah, lessons learned, isn't it? Okay, so for your next challenge, this is going to be a lot easier anyhow. But again, another example of how to mislead with data. This is Iván Duque. He's the president of Colombia, and this is his Twitter feed. So in August 22nd, 2020, you can go and check it out. It's still up there. He published this. So it says, it is in Spanish, but you can translate tweets. So it says, the deaths caused by violence, by drug trafficking and terrorism hurt us. Between 2010 and 2019, our countries experienced 189 cases, which is the ones of mass murders. And then between 219, so these are the ones, 219 and 220, we have 34 events, right, of mass murders. The other ones are how many people died, and there are how many cases they had. And he says, okay, we're going to continue fighting so this doesn't happen again. And if I hover over again, you can see that he has been president from 2018 to 2020, which is, so he's basically showing us during my stay as president, this is the way, so this is how it's going in here, and then this is how it's gone from previous presidents, and we'll continue to fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, go at it. No need to comment about if you like the president or not, the political opinions, and this is about data. We need to learn how to put our feelings aside and talk about data. So forget about it. That is obviously significant that our president will do this, but still, let's talk about the data, let's talk about the facts, and let me know what you see wrong with this tweet. Okay, I'll see you again on Friday with another DAX Friday. So until then, take care. Bye bye.